awful Egyptian timeline. The Egyptians were so very ancient, we don't really know where they came from. You could go on looking for answers till you're as old as a mummy, or as old as your mummy. But we do know that prehistoric people roamed around in North Africa finding food. Here's a rough timeline of what happened. 5500 BC, awesome Egyptian people begin to settle beside the Nile River. But they haven't invented the wheel yet, which is a bit of a drag. 3000 BC, North and South Egypt come together under one king or pharaoh, and this first pharaoh is known simply as Scorpion. Did he have a poison tale to tell? And Sumerian people invent writing about the same time as the Egyptians do. Not only can we record history, we can have schools and history tests. 2650 BC, the first pyramids are built in Egypt. You can see the point. It's there on the top. These pharaohs are now gods who will look after Egypt and its people. 1650 BC, the Hyksos from Asia invade Egypt and take over the north. Where are those pharaoh gods when you need them? 1540 BC, the grave robbers were robbing those pyramids too easily. So Egyptians switched to burying their kings in tombs cut into the rock. 663 BC, Assyrians invade Egypt. You can't blame them. Egypt has been attacking Assyria for centuries. Assyrian king Ashurbanipal is a great but cruel ruler. This Ashurbanipal once described what he did to his enemies. Their bodies had the arms and legs cut off, and I fed them to the dogs, pigs, wolves, and eagles. I fed them to the birds in the heavens and the fish in the oceans. What was left I had taken and thrown into heaps. Ashurbanipal didn't even let the dead escape his revenge. The Egyptians were sure the dead had to rest in peace, so Ashurbanipal said, I broke into the tombs of the old kings and let in the sun. I carried their bones back to Assyria. I stopped the priests giving them sacrifices so their ghosts would be tormented. After 20 years, Ashurbanipal was finally driven out by the Egyptians.
Phew! Glad to see the back of him.
300s BC, the Greeks invade, and they'll rule for 300 years, making the peasants poorer and the royals richer. Then in 30 BC, the last Greek queen of Egypt, Cleopatra, kills herself, and the Romans take over Egypt.